JJ McCarthy to me is possibly, I shouldn't say he's not in the top of the list, but he is sneaky quarterback under the most pressure because although first year starting, rookie deal, he's not in a, situation where he's going to get traded or something. But what we've seen over the last 2 seasons is Kevin O'Connell has been able to take a guy like Sam Darnold, who was on his third team in 3 years, and Kirk Cousins before he went down to injury, and they were playing at an MVP level. So JJ McCarthy at a minimum is expected to come into this season as your basically rookie year. You're not only expected to win double-digit games, right? If you don't win more than 10 or 11 games, we're looking at you like something's crazy. You're expected to play at a high level because you have the best wide receiver in football, if not number two. You have Jordan Addison, Hawkinson, this offensive line. You trade, I think, for Jordan Mason, who's a really solid running back that can get burned alongside Aaron Jones. I think them as a tandem could be like a top 10 running back duo in the NFL. And that defense is there to save you if not. JJ McCarthy has everything set up for him to succeed. So if he doesn't have success early on, you're going to start hearing some noise. It's not like they have backups ready to come in and just, be able to take the starting job right away. But what we've seen over the last couple of years in this offense is quarterbacks can dominate even if we don't expect them to. So I think JJ's under a lot of pressure next year.
How many second-year quarterbacks are under pressure?
A lot of
Because
them.
I think
feel
it's
like Caleb's under pressure.
Caleb Williams under pressure, JJ McCarthy. Sam Darnold was phenomenal last year. So he has to show that he's at least a high-end starter and can produce.
That's another guy, too. Insane pressure.
Michael Penix Jr., is he under pressure?
I don't think so.
Not much.
Him and Drake, I think, are good.
Yeah, I think Bo's good too.
I think Bo Nix is not under pressure either.
I think Jaden's under pressure. Like, modest pressure.
The same way that C.J. Stroud had pressure coming into
Just
the
follow it up. Prove
Just
it
follow
again.
it up, yep. I think Bo has
that's
pressure because they made the playoffs. So it's just repeating that. It's repeatable pressure. Like, yo, be consistent. Make that improvement in year two as a player and just as a team. You don't want to go in. Like, Denver is expecting to go in and fight for the division. They're expecting to go in and win a playoff game, and that's going to come off the shoulders of Bo Nix. So if he has a year where he's down, they're definitely going to start looking like, all right, like now, you're starting to look at that page a little bit different. Same way with J.J. McCarthy, although he doesn't have a year under his belt. This is kind of going to be how we're looking at these sophomore guys. It's going to be J.J. because I feel like him and Jaden have similar pressure in the sense of, your teams are one of the best teams in the NFC. Y'all don't have one of the best teams, but you're a playoff team. But Commanders, we're thinking, can they do it again? They're definitely going to be at the top of the NFC. The Vikings absolutely have the roster to make a Super Bowl, to be in an NFC Championship game, and that's going to rely heavily on J.J. McCarthy. It's kind of like similar how much pressure Brock Purdy had year two, where, year one they were nice, it was great when he started, but year two, this is a Super Bowl team. There is insane pressure on you to just make the Super Bowl or make an NFC Championship game because you have such a talented roster and you don't know when you're going to have this type of talent again.
Yeah, and the fact that the Vikings moved off from a guy who was top 5 in touchdowns, top 5 in yards, they believe in you. They drafted you in the first round within the first 15 picks. Like, there's a lot of stock put into McCarthy being great. I think he will be, but that also follows with some pressure. And I'm with you. I think that of the sophomore quarterbacks, I do look at him as having the most, even though he's played the least. Jaden Daniels would be close for me. Caleb Williams would be number 2 in my opinion, because again, you have Ben Johnson now in there. You're supposed to take this year to jump. And I think that I believe that all things considered, Caleb in year one with all the things going wrong, I thought he had a pretty solid rookie season. It just got overlooked because Jaden obviously had the best rookie season we've ever seen. And on top of it, Bo Nix came out of nowhere in a lot of people's eyes, and he was one of the best rookies. No doubt. And I feel like a lot of hype has gone his way. And Caleb, in some way, has kind of gone under the radar this offseason with a lot of attention being put elsewhere. But I think Caleb definitely would give him a run for his money in terms of quarterbacks under the most pressure. But I would agree with you. I think Bo Nix does have pressure.
I think, is it kind of weird how, like, Caleb and Marvin Harrison Jr. kind of that similar boat where they were the top guys in their class, kind of got underrated in their rookie year where they had a good year, but there was a lot of stuff going on. Other guys in other people's minds kind of has surpassed them, the BTJs, the Neighbors, and then you have the Jadens, the Drakes, and stuff like that. Like, kind of in a similar fashion. But for me, it's going to be Justin Herbert, man. I mean, Justin Herbert is walking in with some insane pressure. And I think it's good pressure. I think it's pressure that him and the Chargers kind of need. I think right now you're in a situation where you've seen Josh Allen make the AFC Championship game. You've seen him have great playoff games. You've seen Lamar make the AFC Championship game. You've seen him win 2-time MVP. You've seen Joe Burrow make the Super Bowl. You've seen Mahomes do everything that all these guys have done. You're kind of the oddball out where you're probably just as talented as those guys. People put you in those conversations, but you haven't had the same success or the same, opportunities to do that. And you're sitting here now. Well, last year you came in, people kind of slept on you. You guys made the playoffs. You were like the walk-in favorites against the Texans, who are on a downward spiral towards the end of the year. Kind of choked that game away. Obviously, your team choked up, but you were also part of the problem. You had a great offseason. Bring your defense back. You had a good draft. Now you're like, could possibly potentially win the division. Of course, Kansas City is always going to be number one. They've earned that respect. But the Chargers have a great team, man. I think all that pressure is just about, we don't care what you do in the regular season at this point. We want to see you have a really good to great playoff game. We want to see the Chargers win a playoff game, because now you've had two opportunities where at one point you were up 27 points, or however, it was a big lead. You choked it, and then you were heavy favorites against a Houston team that was on the downward trend, and you choked that game too.
I think that's fair. I think Herbert, if you put him in that company and he's at elite, then he needs to win in the postseason. For me, it's the same way Caleb Williams was disappointing in his rookie year to a lot of people, not to me, but to a lot of people, and we're looking for a bounce back in his second year and contribute more to winning. I think Trevor Lawrence, former first overall pick who had all the hype in the world, I think it's a different type of pressure from Herbert, where Herbert has been elite in the regular season. It's the postseason where he's had his blunders. Trevor Lawrence over the past 2 years has an 87 passer rating. He has been all right, but when you're the first overall pick and you are crowned as a generational quarterback prospect, you can't just be all right. And the Jaguars in 2023 collapsing down the stretch and missing the playoffs to this past season, winning 5 games and having the 5th overall pick before they traded up at number 2 to go get Travis Hunter. They just fired Doug Peterson for Trevor Lawrence. They hired Liam Cohen for Trevor Lawrence, who Baker Mayfield just had a phenomenal year with. They have Brian Thomas Jr. They have Travis Hunter. I think you don't have a great running back room, but it's serviceable. It's Tank Bigsby and Travis Etienne. You have a play designer that is proven. You have weapons on the outside. The offensive line could be better, but I think it's manageable. It is on him to tone down the turnovers, tone down the fumbling, and uplift this football team. And I think if they have another disappointing season, we're going to start talking about Trevor Lawrence in a manner that I think he's better than.
Yeah. No, I mean, there's no excuse for Trevor. We've gone through all the coaches. We've gotten you the weapons. We used a first-round pick on a running back for you a couple years ago. We used a day 2 pick on a running back for you. We traded all the world for Travis Hunter.
I agree.
When are you gonna fix the
weapons?
line,
Thank
man?
you. That's the only piece that I'm here with, where we've really seen him regress. And
Could have told him that years ago.
in the biggest fashion he's regressed has been his pocket presence. That's been number one for me, and it seems like he's been rattled by the amount of pressure that he's seeing. And I know early on that's obviously been an issue that he experienced from day one, but something that never changes, and it's that constant pressure. You start questioning your decisions. And at the lesser extent, I mentioned Daniel Jones because that's a guy who never had a good offensive line, and we saw his footwork get worse and worse and worse and worse as his career went on. Now, it would be a damn shame if Trevor Lawrence, who is a 30 times better prospect than Daniel Jones, goes down that similar path. That would be unfortunate.